All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Had to hit y'all on the downbeat. Good evening, everyone. Come on in here. We're going to give folks just a few minutes. Welcome to WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday. And especially after the last couple of weeks, we're coming out of our challenge. But I want to know who is in the room with me. And I see our superstar guest is here as well. I'm excited. I'm excited to introduce her in just a few moments. In the chat, let me know where you guys hail from. That's right. Turn those cameras on. Like I said, if I could get my situation together, to come and hang out with y'all. I'd really, really love to see your faces. We're all family here. It's not about, you got to be a certain way or look a certain way. Just know that we are really here to have a conversation. It's WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday, and I'm excited to have all of you. So in the chat, I want to give some shout outs. Let me just know so I can see who's here. If it is your first time on, yes, where you're from, so I can give you some shout outs. Deborah Mighton's in the house. Good to see you, Deborah, hailing from North Little Rock, Arkansas. All right, all right. Let's see. Michelle is from where? Let me look in here. Yes, Steph is from Ohio. Michelle from Baltimore, right down the road. A piece from me. Oh, Tamiko, it's great to see you. One of our former ambassadors. See, y'all know y'all can't stay away. Once you go out there in the wilderness, you know you want some of this WealthyU love. So I am so glad to see so many of you. If it is your first time, I especially want to give you a shout out. Hey, Nikki Price from Atlanta. Arquella, someone I just met, and I'm so excited to get to know her. Welcome to the family. Phyllis Thomas, New Jersey. What's that? My Mona Sal, Mona, New York. Claudia Mallory, Boynton Beach. Yes, we have. I see you, Marley. Hopefully you are in the States or traveling around, but good. I want to also give a shout out to some of our newest members. Welcome you into the fold. Good evening, good evening. So what's on your mind? I mean, what is going on? You know what I'm excited about, guys, before we get right into our conversation this evening, what I'm excited about is, you remember at the end of last year, the market was down. I mean, many of you were crying. Oh, my portfolio is down 20%. We come on. Can I make fun of y'all, especially those of you who are in WealthyU? I would be on skill advisory, on strategic advisory, and everyone would be showing their portfolios, and they would, it's negative. And, I was like, well, let me just tell you, this is when millionaires make their fortunes. And they would be like, ooh. Now, can I just get a witness that January was one of the highest Januaries historically ever? So I just, I really don't want to rub it in y'all noses or anything, but yes, I do. So the point that I'm making for all of you, we're in it to win it. We played the long game. We are winners. We want it. We desire it. We know I am responsible and no excuses. That's what it's about in WealthyU. So welcome. Before I introduce our guest, though, one of the things that I wanted to do was do a roll call. We went through the challenge. We opened the doors to WealthyU, and I am so excited about our newest members. I hope that you're getting acclimated. I know that you had orientation last night. I've got to give the team accolades. I hear It went really well. I see Stephanie is in the house, a few who led that charge, and it takes teamwork to make the dream work. So I publicly want to say to this team how incredibly grateful I am for your commitment and how you pour into these women, because we could not have some of the results and the transformations that you see that we highlight often on Get Wealthy. So before we get into our conversation, our WealthyU wind down conversation, I want to begin by just welcoming into our WealthyU membership, because it does have privileges. Ashley Branch, I want to give you a welcome into the WealthyU. Excited to have you here. Kimberly Hogan's McDuffie, welcome to the sisterhood. Diane Shockley, Sharon Gregory, Kate Johnson, Marley. Is it Doucette? Marley, I don't want to butcher your name, but let me just, is it Doucette or Doucette? Anyway, you can put it phonetically in the chat if you like. Tanea Vereen, Renee Jones Hudson, Sabrina Johnson. I know I saw her right at the top. Hey, Sabrina. Tia Glenn, Betty White Burris, and my good girlfriend, Cynthia Jefferson Lane. I don't know if she's on tonight, but Cynthia and I go way back. I mean, she has been sworn to silence because she can tell nothing of our young right after college days. So she's been sworn to secrecy, although I guess she could if she wanted to. But at any rate, I do want to welcome you all into WealthyU and just let you know that we're committed to you. And the goal really is, I know that it's only a matter of time that we're interviewing you on Get Wealthy and sharing your results and the things that you've been able to accomplish. So I just want to say welcome. And of course, many of our existing members are here, and I want to applaud all of you for being here. I see Dennis Sample over there in the corner holding it down. I want to tell you too, Dennis, I really appreciate the what you've been sharing. Like you just shared that information on many of you some of you are government employees. The Thrift Savings Plan has opened up a mutual fund window. So just know I'm going to be double clicking on that in the next couple of weeks, really give you guys a deep dive. It's so interesting how people are responding to having some expanded options. All of a sudden they're afraid it costs too much, but at any rate, I'm a double click on that. However, what I am really excited about is joining us tonight is someone that I call a good friend that I met. Man, it's been a few years now. One of the brightest women that I know, and I'm excited that she's here to spend some time with us this evening. But what's really awesome is that I don't know why I always get excited and start twitching around, but anyway, but before I do that, I had the good pleasure of interviewing her on Get Wealthy. And if you haven't seen that segment, I hope that you do. So I'm going to just use the promo to introduce her. On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, I'm sure you've heard that saying that the only thing guaranteed is death and taxes. The truth is that the wealthy get wealthier by understanding tax strategies. And that's exactly the conversation that we're going to have on the next Get Wealthy, where you're going to learn wealth hacks that help you turn your wages into wealth.
Taxes is one of the largest expenses you ever have. You really have to know how to manage that savings and get that under control so that you can build wealth.
That's right here on Get Wealthy, only on Blackstone Network. All right. And what I'm excited about is the fact that Miss Vicita Jackson is joining us today, but let me give her her proper accolades. Spicita Jackson is an entrepreneur. She founded her CPA firm, X Financial Inc., in 2009 after leaving her life as certified public accounting. She started on accounting and advisory businesses and had access to all kinds of experiences around tax strategies. And I am so excited to have her join us this evening. I had to twist her arm, didn't I, Spicita? I didn't have to twist your arm, just a little bit. Well, let me just ask you to unmute and welcome you into the fold. So I just click, got it?
Okay, I'm unmuted. Hey, y'all.
Well, let me just tell you guys, I just left Spicita a couple of days ago. We were at a conference together, and so we had many laughs and much fun. And while I was there, I said, well, Spicita, can't you come and talk to my WealthyU folks about all of your stuff? So Spicita Jackson, welcome once again to WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday.
Hello, Deborah. You know that it is tax season, but because you asked me, I am making this thing happen. Ladies, look at my picture. That's me on a cute day. So this is me on a tax season day, and I am so happy to see you guys. Deborah, thank you for inviting me on a Wednesday for a wind down, because you know I do business combos and coffee, and I need some wind down.
Oh, yes. Wait a minute. Let me give a toast to you. I have my glass. I should have told you.
I did not, but
Okay.
hopefully you'll welcome me back and the ladies will get to see me on a cute day.
Oh, come on, ladies in the chat. Is this woman not cute? She's fabulous. I call her my Southern Belle friend. You hear the accent. She's so gracious, but here's what I want y'all to really know. She is don't let the smile fool you. She's one of the brightest minds, especially when it comes to taxes, that I know has given me such great insight. And Spicita, that's really why I wanted you to come on tonight. It is tax season. And I've been having some conversations with some of our newest members into our WealthyU membership. And what is really interesting is that you said something that was so profound in our interview. And actually, you said it in that promo that I had never considered. And that is that taxes is one of our largest expense, probably the largest than our mortgage and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to begin the conversation with you. You talked about wages to wealth, and just begin by sharing with our audience why you could do anything. You could have stayed and, work for the Big Four, but you chose to really come out and help entrepreneurs and, regular folks working for that wage. Why did you decide to start your own business?
Well, I went from what do you call it? From rags to riches, or wages to from wages to earning. I started my firm at the last recession, and I started my firm because actually I just realized that I really wanted to help entrepreneurs. And there was a story where I saw an entrepreneur give away, $25 million of his assets, his hard-earned assets in his business, and that helped me to see that. People just don't know what they don't know. And because of the type of accountant I was or am, I'm an advisory accountant. And a lot of times people just think accountants just do taxes, but accountants really provide the strategy that you need to pocket more profit, keep your money, and pay less taxes. And like you said, taxes is the biggest expense that you have. That's why, we're in tax season. And, if you accumulate that over time, you'll find that you've paid more in taxes than you pay for your house or anything else. And I actually prepared a small little presentation. I don't know how much time you gave me, but
oh, girl, you got all the time in the world. Are you kidding me? In the chat, let me know if you guys want to really have this woman drop some knowledge around how you can keep more of your pay in your pocket. In the chat, let me see if you guys want to hear what this woman has to say about. It's going to show you something really, really insightful. Yeah, insightful.
So this is my deck, and I just, it's simple, and I was very excited about being here, guys. And so, Deborah asked me to come and talk to you guys about being from wage to wealth. Can y'all see this okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a double chat. Are we with family?
We are with family,
Deborah. I'm a typical Black woman, and getting ready for Deborah's show, I said I got to be cute. I went and let my hairstylist do my hair, and I didn't make it back to my office, y'all. So I don't have my double screen, and to honor my friend,
oh, good. And
look, Deborah, since we with family, I thought I'd tell y'all the truth. Okay. And so that's what had happened. And I don't have my double screen. So y'all tell me how this is looking.
This looks fantastic. Can everybody see? And by the way, guys, if you want to see this very clearly, just put your view on speaker view, and then it'll be easier for you to see. So no, go right ahead, Spicita.
All right, we're talking about from wages to wealthy. Okay. And that's what Deborah and I talked about on the interview. And I did I had my team do an animation, because the biggest expense you're going to have is tax, right? And the biggest expense ever you'll have is tax. Right? And the big tax is income tax. And he has some big cousins that are bully, sales tax, and property tax. And they're like the three little rascals. And I'm going to tell you this story because remember, you had that big bully in school and he seemed so big until you got a strategy and he came back. And it's time for you to grow up so that you don't see that big tax bully as being so big. And that's what we're going to talk about today. That slide went fast, but I'm going to make it go slow next time. Okay. And today we're talking about the 3 ways to wealthy, how to go from rags to riches, better yet, how to go from wages to wealth. Are y'all ready? Talk to me in the chat, please.
In the chat, let's give her some love.
Hey, chat
Everybody
girl
says yes, yes, yes.
Oh, all right.
Take your time. Take your
time. We want to go. Okay, let me see. Let me pull this down, you beautiful people. And I don't know, but I can see you guys on my side, and it won't let me make you small. Oh, there we go. Come on now.
You're fine. We see you great.
You do. Okay, maybe it's just my view. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right, so I wanted to kind of modify this title, and we're going to take today a journey to tax freedom. Would y'all like to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I want to go to tax freedom, and I believe that that's important. And like I said, we're going to talk about the big tax bully, okay? Because tax is the biggest expense that you'll ever have in life. And this is tax season. And a lot of you guys are getting the forms that you see here in front of you, the 1099 miscellaneous, the 1099 interest. But how many of you also have W-2s as well as businesses? Y'all tell me, who am I talking to in the chat? How many entrepreneurs? Put a 1 for me in the chat if you're an entrepreneur. Right? Yeah, I got some entrepreneurs out there. Several entrepreneurs.
Got a lot of entrepreneurs.
Right, y'all. Y'all are my besties. So Deborah said, why did I start my business? I started my business for you. because I believe that one of the main ways that people can build wealth is through business. And in having your business and creating business, you're taking stock, you're diversifying, right? You're taking stock in yourself. And so let's talk about how you can get more money to invest more in yourself by lowering your taxes like the wealthy. All right. They say the top 25 wealthiest people in America pay less taxes than you. Y'all put you in the comments because they're not talking to us. They're not going to pay less taxes than us when we get done with this conversation. So let's just say you. Yeah, y'all, you. Not us, but you. That's a them problem after this, right? So, but what we're going to learn today is that life is taxed. Know the rules, play the game, and win. Wealthy people know this. And you guys are in WealthyU. So I'm talking to you, wealthy people in WealthyU. It's time for y'all to know how to lower taxes. Y'all put lower it, Spicita, in the chat. I'm just teasing. All right, that's too long. Just give me a one.
Lower.
So it's late, y'all. I'm having fun. All right, so let's talk about how to lower your taxes like the wealthy. This little girl here is my daughter, and she is 6 years old. And this and what you see is a 7-Eleven convenience store. How many of y'all seen one of those before? Right. So my story starts, my mom takes me to the convenience store, and I had just learned how to count. I was Sailor's age, and the lady shorted me a nickel. I'm gonna give y'all the short version of the story. I counted my change, bought my little Doritos or whatever I was gonna buy, and I looked down, I counted my change, and she shorted me a nickel. I looked up to her and I said, she shorted me a nickel. And my mom said, come on, girl, let's go. I said, no, mommy, she shorted me a nickel. She owed me a nickel. And so I got louder, and the people in the store was trying to give me money. The lady looking at me like, So I walk up there and I open my little hand and I show it to her. And I said, you shorted me a nickel. And so on that day, I learned two things. One, children are even taxed because I paid sales tax. But I also learned that in order to keep your money growing, you got to count your change. Y'all place a number 2 in the chat for me if you understood what I'm saying. Count your change. So I want you guys to realize that even children are taxed, old people are taxed, young people are taxed, retired people are taxed, sick people are taxed, well people are taxed, but we gotta learn to count our change so we can lower our tax, because life is taxed. Count it and keep your change. Every day you are taxed, but everywhere, y'all, is a tax deduction. And I'm going to teach y'all that today.
All right, because that's what I want to know.
Right. President Trump, we all know, talked about how he paid $750 in taxes. We ain't going to talk about him. Let's skip on. Let's get to the good stuff. Amazon paid less taxes than you. They paid less than 1%. Today, what you'll learn is that tax is everywhere, and everywhere is a tax deduction. So what do they say, y'all? More money, more what?
Problems,
exactly. But you're not going to have those problems. When you make money, there's ways that you're going to get taxed. 2 types of tax. There's income tax and employment tax. Y'all put a number 3 in there if you want me to talk about the big tax.
The big tax.
And tax number 1 is income tax, because I told you guys that the biggest tax you'll have is income tax. Corporations pay 21% flat income tax. And what you see to the left, to the right, is the personal income tax rate. You pay if anywhere from 10% to 37% in income taxes on your income. Can y'all believe it? So more money, more tax. Okay. All right. I want to show you guys how I use a simple W-2 to show you that taxes is the biggest expense that you will pay in life. And the number one thing that you must understand, master, and control is taxes. Y'all put taxes in the comments for me. Taxes. Okay. You see box 2, 4, and 6 here? Box 2, 4, and 6. Box 2 is income tax. Box 4 and box 6 is employment tax. When you add this together on $100,000 wage, because on this W-2, this person made $100,000. Okay, they put $15,000 away in their 401k. You like that, Deb?
You know I like that.
All right. So that person put 15,000. That's what this double D is. When you look at your W-2, this box D down here talks about what the deductions that you were able to take. If you maximize your 401k, that is reflected in box 1. So your entire $100,000 is not taxed for income tax. But you guys see box 3 and box 5. Box 3 and box 5 shows your full $100,000 because you are taxed. I told y'all life is taxed. Every day you're taxed. If you work and when you work, because I have a lot of entrepreneurs, even if you're an entrepreneur and you W-2 yourself, put a 5 in the comment if you get a W-2 and you're an entrepreneur, or if you get a W-2, or if you got a W-2 for 2022. Y'all put that in the comment section for me. It is important that you understand how to read a W-2, okay? Number 1, what did I say? I said life is taxed. Number 2, I told you to count your change. Number 3, know how to read. And what I'm going to teach you, and I'm saying read numbers, it starts with reading your W-2. And that's what we're going to master tonight on WealthyU. All right, because I want you guys to master this. You can't master something that you don't understand. And taxes is the one thing that money-making people should understand, and wealthy people do understand. Y'all ready to be wealthier? Give me a 6. All right, box 1, $85,000. That is what was actually taxed for income tax. Box 3 and box 5 show how much of your income earned was taxed for employment tax. When we add box 2, 4, and 6 together, we are looking at over $26,000 in taxes, y'all. $26,000. If you take that $26,000 and you compound it over 50 years, that's over $1 million that you've paid in taxes. And that's just employment tax and income tax. Okay, so how many of you see, based on looking just at this simple W-2, that taxes is the largest expense, the big expense, and that you should master it? Because I have a secret for you guys, especially for the entrepreneurs here on this Zoom. If you're an entrepreneur, you guys just dropped in the comment section that you guys, number 1, told me that you were entrepreneurs. The next thing you told me were you're entrepreneurs and you got W-2s. Okay, I want you guys to put a lucky 7 for me, because you're a lucky person if you are an entrepreneur and you have W-2'd yourself. Right. You lucky 7 people, you get to control box 2, 4, 6, because you're lucky 7. How? Have you guys ever heard of incorporating? So the way that you incorporate your business, it allows for you to control your taxes, specifically taxes in box 2, 4, and 6. Your lucky 7. I see all y'all lucky 7s out there. So if this is you, I want you to take your W-2 this year. I want you to take your K-1 this year. If you don't have a K-1, it's okay. Take your Schedule C this year, your business tax return this year, and sit down and talk to a real accountant and get a strategy so that you can lower this number, because life is taxed. You can control it. All right. And your accountant can help you and give you aid. I aid my clients in helping them AIDE. Y'all see it here? Find the adjustment, which lowers your taxes. Find the itemized deductions, which lower your taxes. And if you are a lucky 7, you should know this: business, income, and expenses. Business is tax-free. When you spend money in your business, when you invest in your business, you convert your income and release your income onto the journey of tax freedom. And that's what I have for you guys today, because I don't have a lot of time. But if you want, you can follow me on YouTube, because if you really want to save on your taxes and gain the big tax deduction, I'm Spicita Jackson, X Financial. You can find me at accountantthisway.com. And that's what I got for y'all today. You can Linktre me too as well if you have any questions. But Deb, I don't know how much time we have, but I'll take some questions. Stop sharing. Hey, y'all. Y'all quiet on me. What happened? Where y'all at? Y'all, anybody have a question? Drop it in the chat. Let me see if you have a question for me. Was this pivotal for you guys? What did y'all think about box 2? Because box 2 is what's taxing you the most. That's income tax.
Spicita, and I muted because I didn't
You
want to.
were muted. I was like, oh, I'm taking over this show.
No. No, this is great, because hold up, because I want the most important thing that I believe, people think it's how much money you make. It's not, right? It's how much you keep. And part of that, what I love about what you talk about is aid, and really you really are a strategist, Spicita, just in terms of helping people understand the tax law and how it works. So we got some great questions. Let me go right to them. Man, they're coming fast and furious. So let's go to Marley says, what is the maximum deductions you can claim for an LLC? Is there a maximum?
There is no maximum. Life should be tax-free when you're LLC. So I rhyme a lot, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm actually a poet turned accountant. And so life should be tax-free if you're an LLC. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure that you are using your expenditures, and you're talking to your accountant to determine if your expenditure was an expense or an asset, so that we can convert that and make it tax-free. So anything that you spend on your business, if you spend it in business, if you use it to make money, if you go on vacation and you talk about business, if you go and eat and you talk about business, it is tax-free. One of the biggest deductions, or most frequently missed deductions, that I find that y'all want me to tell y'all? Wait a minute, I'm just clickbaiting y'all.
We wanna know. So that was one of my questions for you, really, Spicita, and that was, what are some of the common mistakes? So we have two audiences here, right? We have folks who are working a job, and we have folks who have a job and have a LLC. Some people call them side hustles. We have some people in here who are working full time and have a job that they're working at the same time. And so let's take the first thing. You just showed us the W-2. so many things have changed in the tax law where they really eliminated or capped some of the deductions that you had, whether it's property taxes or whatever. And so let's go to that side. Let's go to the worker. What are some of what are some of the things that they need to make sure that they do so that they can reduce the amount of taxes that they're paying?
So for the worker, I dropped it in the chat just so in case y'all missed it. So for the worker, the biggest expense that I see that's missed, Deborah, is two. One is the medical expense. The second one is the income deferral. So like that, when I say income deferral, you don't have to pay taxes on your income today. Okay, so you can put your money away into a 401k or an IRA, but max out on those things. If you are self-employed, you can defer up to $58,000 or $59,000. So instead of having that money just sitting in a savings account, right, you can actually invest it in a SEP IRA or a SEP plan, or you can also, do self-directed 401ks. All I'm saying is you can take your money and invest it in other businesses by deferring it, right? And that's Deb's area. That's why y'all here in WealthyU. So like y'all focus on that. But in my area, when I'm looking at your tax return and for the worker, you can take what's called, remember I said aid, right? My A is adjustments. One of the adjustments is like for teachers. You have the teacher deduction. You have the health savings account. So if you work and you have a W-2 and your employer is offering health savings, that means you can take that $5,000 and they'll put it on that card. Do that, especially if you're going to have a procedure. Women are getting BBLs now, Deb. You can use that. Get yourself right. You might want to get your teeth fixed. Take that. It's funny, but it's true. Take that and make it tax deductible. Put your money over in your health savings account, right? You may have some large medical expenses. A lot of women forget this, fertility. Right? If you're one of those women who you're like, look, I'm gonna, this not happening fast enough for me. The fertility, that's expensive, right? If your insurance doesn't cover it and you're paying it out of pocket, don't forget the tax deduction. That is one of the biggest deductions that I find that is being missed. Now, that segues me into the second deduction because it's only 3 to 4 deductions on that Schedule A, Deb. Right?
Well, let me just ask you, I've got another question for you.
Okay.
And that is when it comes to medical expenses, so would medical still be dental as well? Like for so many people, so if it's, and what is the percentage? Like, let's say if I pay out of pocket, what is the threshold that I have to meet in terms of income to be able to deduct those expenses?
Okay, let's stay with our example for our $100,000 W-2, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With the $100,000 W-2, I'm just gonna make this up and say we're so good at this that I'm trying to do some easy math for myself, but your full $100,000 is not going to be taxed, right? So once we pull our adjustments out, it's 7.5%. Right? So $7,500, let's cut that 30%. What does that leave us with? Like $5,000, right? So everything over that 7.5%, which in your case would be about $5,000, that gets to be taken off of, that gets to lower your taxable income.
Okay, so it lowers the income, it doesn't lower the tax liability.
No.
Okay.
No. The only thing that lowers tax liability is tax credit.
Yeah, so I'm still reducing the amount of income. So then that means I'm going to pay less in taxes.
Yes. So the name of the game initially, and Deb, let me plug myself up because I'm almost dead on you.
Let's not do it. Let's not do it.
Can y'all give me 1 second? Hold on. We family here. Hold on.
Oh, too funny. Yeah, we'll let her do that. Is this helpful, you guys? I mean, here's what I want you to know. The reason why I wanted for Spicy to come in is I'm having conversations with many of you, and I can see that if you just had a different approach to how you're leveraging your income. Like there are different, in WealthyU, we call them opportunity levers that you're not pulling. Certainly, Spicita mentioned one of them, and that's an HSA. So that's a health savings account. And they're two different things, right? Like back in the day, there used to be flexible spending, and you could put like up to, I think it was what, 2,500 or something like that. And then you could pay your dental premiums and that sort of thing. But they just came with another option. It's called the health savings account. And typically what they say is that it has to be a high deductible plan in order for you to have HSA. Honey, everything's a high deductible now. You know, back in the day, your deductible used to be about $50. Now, typically on just about every other procedure that you have, you're paying out of pocket. And so the benefit to an HSA is you're allowed to put money in that, and it works just like an IRA. That money can grow tax deferred. So meaning you want to invest it because in the future that money can grow and pay medical expenses, particularly when you get into, when you're getting to the point where either you're with an employer that doesn't pay something or you're self-employed. That's a great way to accumulate dollars, and it works just like an investment account. And the beauty of it is it's kind of like a Roth IRA, and it's what many high net worth individuals are taking advantage of, but we just don't even understand it. We don't know it's available. Oftentimes it is an option in our benefit package, but we simply don't even understand what it means. Okay, Spicita's back. No. Come on. Let's unmute Spicita. And so where were you? So we were talking about the W-2, and I was saying, what are some of the things that folks miss who are W-2 employees? Oh,
okay.
well,
Okay, so we were talking about one of the expenses that they were doing is the W-2 employees, because I saw in a comment that someone asked about the home office deduction, right? The home office deduction, you cannot take that if you are in a corporation. So it's no longer an itemized deduction, but medical expenses is, taxes is, charitable contributions are, okay? And mortgage interest. Okay, so if you have any of those, you want to add those up so that you can take them to
I'm sorry, you guys couldn't see me. Silly me. Thank you, Virginia.
Oh, I thought you didn't want to be seen.
No. I mean, you think I do all this not to be seen?
I know, you look so gorgeous. You look so
No, I
gorgeous.
mean the background, and if you saw the stuff we had to do to make this happen. But at any rate, go right ahead, Spicita.
So what I'm saying is like the main adjustments for the worker on the W-2, you are limited. Let me just say that. Okay. The tax code was built for businesses to create entrepreneurship. So if you got a side hustle, you're in business. If you sold a cupcake, you're in business. It's commerce. You don't. And one of the biggest, misnomers or myths out there is that if you did not incorporate, that you don't have a business, that somehow incorporation is the validation for business. It's not. What the validation for business is actually having a customer and people paying you for something. So if that happened for you, you're in business. You don't have to incorporate. You don't have to be an LLC. You don't have to be an S Corp. You don't have to be a C Corp to take a business tax deduction. All you have to have done is conducted business. Do y'all understand that? Don't let these people lie to y'all on these internet streets.
That's good. One of the other things that I wanted you to share with folks, because Spicita, I think that so often we don't make moves because we think it's too complicated. We'll make a mistake. Everybody's afraid of being audited, yada, 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 every excuse in the world. But I would really love for you to share, what would be the first step if you said, okay, I'm going to hang out my shingle. I'm going to sell, you could sell your clothes on Poshmark, right? Mm-hmm. Have a customer, And ladies, I know y'all got a closet full of clothes, right? So that could be your business, right? And so what do I need to do though to codify that? Meaning to make it a legal business so that I can now start tracking that I have this commerce going on and begin to write off some of those expenses.
I believe in capturing, collect, capture, and keep. Okay. Y'all write that in the comment. Collect, capture, and keep. Okay, I'm gonna drop it for y'all because that's good. Collect, capture.
Little alliteration, that's what I
keep.
love about you, because you make it memorable. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, we want to collect all of our money, right? Because we don't want our money sitting in somebody's account. So we want to make sure that we have a collection system, right? Whether it's PayPal, whether it's Zelle, whether it's Cash App, you want to make sure, or merchant services, make sure that you're collecting your money and collect it all, okay? I want you to capture every expenditure, every payout, and when I say expenditure, an expenditure does not necessarily mean that hard, cold cash left your hand. An expenditure could mean you financed it, right? But it's an expenditure. You now have something in exchange. I want you to capture it. Capture how much it cost you. So capture your cost, right? And keep your profit or keep your change. Okay, how do you do that? You set up a simple accounting system. I offer Xero to my clients, and I don't care. You don't have to have an accounting system just because you're in business, right? I say have an accounting system when you're making money because you want to collect, capture, and keep. And that's what the accounting system allows you to do.
I don't know why Spicita froze, but one of the other questions that I wanted to ask her, we'll see when she comes back up. One of the other questions I wanted to ask her, because I think about when I first started my little side consulting business, one of the things that was really helpful was, having a tax ID number and having a legitimate business, so that then you can do that home office deduction. You can do all of those things. So let's see if Spicita comes back on. But anyway, guys, was this helpful? In the chat, let me know if this was helpful. Because one of the points that I want to make is we have all these different programs, right? And we focus on different areas. And specifically in our Legacy Wealth Accelerator, we spend a lot of time on tax advantage strategies. And what you have to understand is that our focus in WealthyU is really having you shift from that income to the wealth mindset, right? And so that's why I spend so much time on mindset. And this is one aspect of it, right? Sometimes we're afraid to have that other side hustle or start an LLC or, the thing is that how many of you are afraid to start some type of business? In the chat, just let me know that. If you don't have a business, a side hustle, in the chat, tell me why. Is it fear? Is it just not wanting to? Is it you think that it'll be a hassle? Do you think that it's difficult? Do you think is it you don't know what business to start? I would love to see what some of your responses are. Okay, Nikki says not sure where to start. Rima says not focused enough. Sharon Jean Baptiste says not sure what business to start, not sure where to start. Commitment, paperwork, finding the time. Yeah, not sure. So here's what I want to say to you is that literally whatever skill set you have acquired and mastered is a skill set that you can transfer into some kind of business or consultancy. And the reason this is important for you all to understand, and okay, Spicita's back. The reason why this is important for you to understand, and I really, really want all of you to get this, is that our financial system incentivizes two things: entrepreneurship and real estate. I mean, really, that's what it does. Okay. But it incentivizes real estate investment and entrepreneurship, right? Why? Because that is economic stimulus, which ultimately builds jobs. And so when you take that kind of risk, you are rewarded for it. And the thing is about the shift from an income to a wealth mindset really is just that, is that we were taught to be earners, right? So we're fearful. But if you, this is what I realized very early on in my career, is that all the most wealthiest clients own their own business. I want you guys to get this. Why is that? Was because there's so many tax benefits to it. I mean, you look at Trump, and I don't like to say his name a lot, but the point is he was very strategic. Why did he start his business? All his kids were in the business. Why is that? Because if you hire your kids, instead of you just giving your kids money, now you're able to write that off. Are you guys getting this? And so all of it is the ability to pay less in taxes, and then you end up with more money in your pocket. So we've got Spicita back, and Spicita, we were I was just talking. The other question I had for you is, if you're going to start a business, do you need to have a tax ID number and a business in order to take advantage of things like home office deduction and that sort of thing?
You absolutely do not. So one of the comments in the comment, I can't remember who asked it, was like a single owner business and a sole proprietorship, incorporated or not, will file a Schedule C. Okay. That Schedule C is where we will take the home office deduction. It does incorporation, or the way you incorporate it, does not control whether you can take the home office deduction. Well, like I said, you just gotta sell, be in commerce, and you can take the business.
You could now, Spicita, couldn't you just do a Poshmark store or something like that? Do resale. You're selling to other customers, and that be a legitimate business?
Absolutely. And Poshmark isn't going to let you in without a tax ID number. So, and I always encourage that. I mean, you guys, you can be a sole proprietorship and get a tax ID number, so you're not out here passing out your social security number.
Yes.
So, I mean, it takes nothing to go and get a tax ID number for your business. I do a webinar, and one of my books is called Business Babies Need to Grow Up. And businesses are just like babies. They need tax ID numbers. We name them, we give them tax ID numbers, and we take care of them until they take care of us, just like our kids, right? So get that business the tax ID number so it's not screwing up your credit. Yeah. And there's a distinction and a separation between you and your business. The reason why we incorporate is we incorporate so that we can protect ourselves from our business, right? We can protect our personal assets from our business assets. That is the one of the two reasons for incorporation. The other reason for incorporation is to tell the IRS or the governmental body how you want your income to be taxed.
Well, you know what, Spicita, I know I am so grateful that you came to spend some time with us, but I want you guys to look out, because Spicita and I are going to do an intensive. It's going to be a 2-day intensive, and we're going to be covering these topics, right? So it's going to be all about leveraging your tax advantage, right? Opportunities. And we're going to be covering this, your LLC. She can go deeper into a lot of the concepts that she talked about tonight. In the chat, tell me who's interested in that. Who would be interested in attending a 2-day intensive with Spicita, where we get your money right and we get your taxes right, and then you can learn how to invest. Basically, we're going to be teaching the secrets of the 1% and how they're able, right, to take advantage of opportunities that the middle class that we were never taught. How's that sound in the chat? If that sounds like a winner, let me know. Spicita, I can't thank you enough. Please let folks know if you need tax strategy, if you're considering starting a business. I know there are people that I've talked to in the community that have been uncomfortable with some of the feel like they're paying too much in taxes, or maybe didn't get what they feel like is the best advice. Spicita, please, in the chat, put your information in there. I can say unequivocally, not only is she cute and she's my friend. What is that? She's smart. That's what I think of when
She is smart. She is bright. She is.
Yes, that's what I think of when I think of you, Spicita. I just want to let's give her some love in the chat and just thank her for coming on WealthyU Wind Down, and get ready for our intensive that will be coming up soon. Spicita, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you, girl.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me, Deb. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good. Awesome. Was that awesome? Yay! Well, here's what I want all of you guys to know. Who's ready to go higher in 2023? Who's ready to go higher? If you're ready to go higher, put higher. I'm ready to go higher. Next level, I have an announcement to our Legacy Wealth Accelerator. Spicita is going to be spending some time with us on tax strategy as well this year. We're going to have an intensive coming up soon. I'm going to be bringing you guys more people with a lot of more insight. Or if you're interested in that, say yes in the chat. I am so excited. I'm going to have some other news breaking come here in the second quarter. So just know that I really prayed this year and said, how many of you are familiar of the prayer of Jabez? If you're familiar with that prayer, expand my territory. Well, that's really was my prayer this year. And that God would send the right people, the right team, with the right the right energy, and that he would surround me with the people with light who could give me more insight into how to make a bigger impact. And I feel like we're off to a great start. I want to welcome all of you who just joined our WealthyU programs, and just know that we're committed to you. But for those of you who haven't, what I want to say to you is make sure you connect. If you're tired of trying to figure out things on your own, I really want to ask you to communicate with your ambassadors, connect. We've got programs that'll meet you wherever you are, and we're committed to your success. And the reason that we're committed to your success is because we know that everything you've been taught about how to achieve financial success was never designed to do that. And in the chat, let me know how many feel like you're stuck or you've hit a ceiling and you should be further ahead and you're not quite sure why you're not. Well, what I want you to know is the reason you're not is because what we've been told doesn't work. But what I want you to know is that every week on Get Wealthy, I'm sharing more information on what you do to go to next level. By the way, If you haven't seen Get Wealthy, my episode this week, it's with Betty Hines, who I've known Betty for, man, more than 2 decades. But she is the founder of Women Elevating Women. And she said something so profound. That's why I want to make sure you watch that program. She's all about collaboration and connection. And what I believe is so many of us have been out here trying to do everything on our own. And you can't make an impact. You can't make any kind of significant impact on your own. It's about being in the right circle. And so, again, I want to thank all of you who joined the WealthyU Circle and know that we're committed to you, but know that this year we're going even higher and you're going to get more insight, more knowledge designed to help you accelerate faster. I'm going to end it like this. I have such a sense of urgency around making an impact in our community. We have to save ourselves. In the chat, if you believe that we have to save ourselves, then I want you to say SOS, right? And the way we're going to save ourselves is we're going to take what we have and we're going to accelerate it. And by accelerating it, it's going to attract more. I hope you guys get that. So if you're ready to go higher, we're ready to take you. Thanks so much for all of our new members. You should be going through orientation. You should all have probably a one-on-one. I know I've met with some of you, but all I got to say is get ready, get ready, get ready. You have Stephanie, if you're still here, what's the training? What's the next training coming up in WealthyU? What's our next skill building session?
Tomorrow night, we have our strategic advisory.
Oh, of course, it's me.
Yes, that's you.
Okay. So, all right. That means everybody show up and show out. So make sure that you schedule your time. All right. That you get on the schedule so that I can preview whatever you want me to give you some insight on. That's tomorrow night. For the new WealthyU Society members, I really want to encourage you to be in on that because it'll give you some great insight into what your journey is going to be like. All right, Steph, thanks so much for staffing me. Virginia Rutherford Hall, Anita, and Lynette, I see all of you are here as ambassadors. Thanks again. I'll see you guys tomorrow night, and we'll be right back here next week for WealthyU Wind Down.